Welcome at this DPW 2022 conference here in Amsterdam. We are in this VIP room where I have the honor to welcome guests and speakers and partners from this conference. And today at this moment I'm sitting here with Rossano from E&I. Welcome.
Thank you very much for this space.
Yes.
I'm happy to be here in this very modern and digital conference.
Great to hear. You have a mission. Your mission is to push the energy transition forward. That's great to hear. But why should the supply chain then become more sustainable?
Energy transition is a relevant part of E&I strategy. So we think that we are facing, of course, on certain moments, a difficult and complex period. But we think that we have to move forward to achieve the results of this mission. And doing this, we can't leave behind our suppliers. It means that supply chain has a relevant role in this transformation path. And we feel the responsibility to engage all our suppliers in this period of transformation, because it means that every company has a great opportunity to change its business model. When you think about the sustainable development and you think about environment, social responsibility, you may see that if you do something good for the environment, for example, if you reduce emissions, it means that you are using new technology, it means that you are innovating, you are optimizing your processes, you're achieving energy efficiency, so your company is running well. So it means that sustainable development is part of the business. It's not something different. It's not an empty KPI or something bureaucratic.
And it's not something separate. You have to integrate it.
Yeah, it's integrated.
Yes. So how should companies become more sustainable?
We thought about it. At the real beginning, we engaged them in this concept, but as it was not so easy, we decided to launch a free and open digital platform, which is called Openness. We developed it with Google Cloud and BCG. And the relevant fact is that this platform is free. Every company can access to this platform and check its position on 4 pillars: people, planet, prosperity, and principle of governance. What's the first aim? Awareness on the sustainable development. So a company at the really beginning is facing new topics, new things, and they can understand how they position in the market on these aspects, and then they can improve their path in order to achieve better results. What it means that we are thinking about a large community. Openness is open to all the companies. We don't make any distinction. And all the companies can share also their experiences on sustainable development in order to understand where a particular sector, for example, is going. So when we talk about emissions, what are logistics sector doing on emissions? And it's very nice for all the companies just to know what each other is doing on it.
Can you mention an example which you are proud of or which you think is really mentionable?
Yeah. It's amazing to see that also very small companies are trying to do their best on the sustainable development. I have many examples of very small companies that are trying to change the culture of their company. What I mean, when you talk about, for example, social responsibility, you talk about human rights, you talk about welfare, inclusion, diversity, all these aspects are relevant for a company because if you work with people in this environment, you can get better results. And it's amazing to see how small companies are trying to speak to their colleagues, to their employees in order to make them understand what these topics are. And they are doing it in a very innovative way. On the other side, with a traditional sector like the logistic one, using technology, for example, to remote control the pressure of the tires of a truck.
Wow, remote?
Yeah.
From their mobile phones?
Yeah, and this is incredible because it means that they are understanding that sustainability, at the end of all, is business. It's innovation, modernization, it's looking for the future.
Wow. I'm trying to figure out how remote they are going to change the pressure, but it's just that they are observing that the pressure is low.
Is an alert.
Yeah.
It is safe for the driver as well. Also, with technology, they can check the control of the truck if the driver is sleepy, for example. So these are all small examples on change process.
But a lot of small examples makes the
Big things.
change. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. So should sustainability become a key performance indicator, a KPI, to evaluate potential suppliers maybe?
Yeah, we think so.
Yeah?
We think that sustainable aspects are part of a company, and we of course have to evaluate them. When we talk about safety, for example, we have many indicators to understand if the company is safe or not. When we talk environment, we will have indicators to understand if the company is responsible in terms of environment and so on. So it's also a driver of competitivity, because we are seeing that companies which are more confident on these aspects are the best companies. They are safe in terms of financial aspects. They're safe when they do their job. So it means that it has a strong impact on the culture of the company itself. So yes, the answer is yes. We want to measure them. We want to recognize what are the top in class in these aspects. But at the same time, we don't have to forget that anybody can be left behind. So on this path, everybody should participate, and we need to help companies that are slower in this change process, but we need to push them to change, to face this challenge.
Good, good. So my last question, what else do you need to stimulate a sustainable supply chain? How many participants do you have and how many
Well,
do you
we
want?
started with the openness platform more or less 16 months ago, and we have 7,300 companies on the platform. That's a great result, because in a few months
It is, yes.
we have so
That's
many
amazing.
companies. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But we know that we still have to persuade other companies to register themselves on the platform, and we are doing it also through industrial and big alliances with big partners, as they can help us in this aspect, in this project. We see it as a system initiative. Before I talk about the concept of community, I think that we can win the challenge of energy transition if everybody collaborate, if we develop a real collaborating system. So all big suppliers, all big companies, we think that have the responsibility to involve their supply chain as well. And on openness, I think that we can grow in numbers. It means that we can have more experiences to be exchanged, and we can have new targets to be set in order to continue to progress.
Yeah, yeah. So the way you stimulate these companies is by developing a larger network, so it becomes attractive to become part of that network.
Absolutely. We think that network is the key in this complex world, to understand what's going on, to have clear information, to share best practice. Imagine what technology will be in the next future. We need to share new technologies. We need to put companies in the position to understand where the world is going.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that, and good luck with pushing the energy transition forward. And I wish you a lot of fun at this conference.
Thank you very much, and thank you again for inviting me to this conference.
You're welcome.